All right, buckle up, my friends. Let's dive into the automotive industry's current state of chaos, where incentives are climbing, inventories are ballooning, and EV lease returns are poised to flood the market in just a couple of years. Here's a breakdown of what's happening with these so-called deals and what's looming on the horizon. Incentives are through the roof. Sounds good, right? But let's not kid ourselves. Automakers and dealers are desperate to offload inventory, which is why incentives have climbed to 7.7% of the average transaction price, or ATP, for new vehicles, up 6% from just September and a staggering 60% over last year. Compact SUVs are leading the way with offers around 9.4% off the ATP, but don't get too excited. The reality is these incentives only exist because they can't sell these cars any other way. It's damage control, not generosity. EVs are getting the highest incentives of all, rising from 11.6% in September to a jaw-dropping 13.7% in October. Why? Because these things aren't flying off the lots like manufacturers had hoped. EVs are more expensive, and surprise, surprise, consumers aren't all that eager to pay top dollar for them, even with tax breaks and discounts. Now, Stellantis is practically drowning in unsold vehicles. Every brand under the umbrella has had to jack up incentives to clear out surplus inventory. Ram leads the pack with incentives galore, but does that mean it's a great time to buy? Not necessarily. When a manufacturer is this desperate, you have to wonder about the long-term value of the vehicle. Contrast that with Toyota, which has kept incentives low thanks to relatively stable sales and pricing. So while some brands are throwing out discounts left and right, others don't feel the need. So ask yourself, why is that? Here's where it gets frustrating. While incentives rise, average transaction prices remain pretty much flat. October's ATP barely moved, sitting at $48,623, up just $200 from September. Some segments, like full-size pickup trucks, even saw prices decline. But EVs, they're still sitting 14% above the ATP for the entire industry, making them an expensive gamble for anyone considering going green. It's clear that incentives alone aren't enough to make EVs affordable, at least not in the way that aligns with consumer expectations. And now let's talk about what's coming in 2026. A massive wave of used EV lease returns that is set to disrupt the entire used car market. J.D. Power forecasts a tidal wave of used EV inventory thanks to the explosive 88% increase in new EV leases year over year. Sounds like a win for consumers looking for deals on used EVs. Wrong. With all these cars coming off lease, there's a high risk of oversupply, which could devastate the resale value of these vehicles. The EV market could go from overpriced to fire sale overnight. The irony here is thick. For years, we've been told that EVs are the future, but now the market's about to be flooded with them because, surprise again, people would rather lease them than commit to buying them. Add that to the dwindling interest in gas-powered leases, which haven't bounced back since the pandemic, and you're left with an uneven, unstable inventory mix. Looking ahead now, there's another looming issue. Current federal incentives that make EVs slightly more affordable could vanish with this next administration, depending on policy changes. Imagine the impact if these incentives go away. Consumers would lose a significant price advantage and demand for EVs could plummet. This would leave dealerships in an even tighter spot as they struggle to shift expensive EV inventory without the federal handouts they've relied on to attract buyers. And then there's the elephant in the room, battery health. Battery degradation is a serious concern, and with EV batteries requiring warranties of up to 8 years or 100,000 miles, buyers may avoid used EVs if they can't find one with warranty coverage remaining. Imagine investing in a used EV only to find out the battery's on its last legs. Not exactly a pleasant thought. The bottom line here is we're looking at a cocktail of rising incentives, stagnant prices, and a future inventory mess that'll make it even harder for consumers to navigate this murky market. Between massive incentives, a flood of lease returns, and potential policy changes, the industry feels like it's spinning out of control, grasping at anything to keep things moving. If you're shopping for a vehicle, now more than ever, you need a reliable source for real-time pricing, new or used. So head over to quotes.everymandriver.com to get the best deals on both new and used cars based on your zip code. It's a free search tool used by thousands every day, allowing you to access real-time dealer pricing and potentially saving hundreds, if not thousands, on your next vehicle. That's quotes.everymandriver.com. There's also a direct link below this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with the latest insights from the automotive world. Hope to see you next time. Today's video is brought to you by The Cold Plunge. Use discount code DAVE150 at checkout at thecoldplunge.com. Immediately save $150 off your purchase. That's DAVE150 at thecoldplunge.com. There's also a link below this video.